Just because you're born to two famous parents doesn't mean life will be easy. From being body shamed to struggling with mental health issues, Jaden Smith has been through a lot for someone so young. From a young age, Jaden Smith was thrust into the spotlight. At the tender age of 7, the young boy made his film debut alongside his famous father, Will Smith, in the feature film The Pursuit of Happiness.
Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. Not even me.
From then on, Smith embarked on his own career, experimenting with acting, music, and fashion alike. Most notably, he would star in the 2010 remake of The Karate Kid and the short-lived TV series The Get Down. Just as his sister Willow Smith has opened up about her childhood frustrations, Smith admits that he never experienced a normal childhood. He told Mr. Porter in 2022, "People were following me around when I was in a stroller. Before I could speak, I could feel the presence of people I didn't know who were interested in me." For the most part, Smith is grateful for the privilege of celebrity, yet the weight of expectations and relentless public scrutiny would leave him yearning for a normal life with normal people. When working on the film Skate Kitchen, Smith was given the opportunity to connect with a close-knit community. This emotional experience provided catharsis for the star, who told Dazed in 2018, "People treat me like I'm not a normal human so much that you start to believe it. Like, am I not a normal human? I didn't always get to hang out with normal people when I was young, so being older and being able to hang out with the big kids and play with normal people is fun." In 2013, Smith embarked on the next project in his film career, a sci-fi movie courtesy of M. Night Shyamalan called After Earth. Once again, Smith would be starring alongside his father. Unfortunately, though it was highly anticipated, the film was a catastrophic flop. Not only did After Earth tank at the box office, but the film earned 3 Golden Raspberry Award nominations in 2014 for the worst cinematic performances.
You're wrong! I'm not a coward!
Both Smith and his father accepted awards of shame. Jaden won the Worst Actor Award, while Will accepted the Worst Supporting Actor Award. Together, they took home the grand prize for Worst Screen Combo. In his memoir, Will Smith expressed his remorse regarding the film. He wrote, "After Earth was an abysmal box office and critical failure, and what was worse was that Jaden took the hit. Fans and the press were absolutely vicious. Jaden had faithfully done everything that I'd instructed him to do, and I had coached him into the worst public mauling he'd ever experienced." Eventually, after this major failure, Jaden Smith would decide to take a step back from acting altogether, before returning to do Skate Kitchen, which was released in 2018. Smith explained to USA Today, "The kinds of roles I was being offered weren't exactly what I was looking for. Nothing felt really necessary that I needed to be in until this came along." Imagine being the son of 2 major Hollywood stars. Life couldn't be better, right? Well, that's not always the case. In fact, when Jaden was just 15 years old, he decided he'd had enough of his glamorous life and shocked his parents by asking for emancipation. For those who don't know, emancipation is a legal process in which a minor gains independence from their parents or legal guardians, and becomes legally recognized as an adult. His father was absolutely broken by this request, writing in his memoir that his heart shattered. In a 2018 episode of Red Table Talk, Jaden Smith joined his family to discuss the emancipation. His mother, Jada-Pinkett Smith, said that she was heartbroken and devastated when he told her that he wanted to leave and live his own life.
And I remember thinking to myself, as devastated as I was like, he's right.
With that, Jada gave her then 15-year-old son permission to emancipate himself. However, Jaden never filed the paperwork. He realized that life under his parents' roof was great, and also free. He joked on The Ellen Show in 2013 that he plans on staying there for another, quote, 20, 30 more years. Jaden has never shied away from sharing his opinion. Time and time again, the Nepo baby turned rapper has made headlines for his controversial takes that address all topics, from politics to fashion to education. For example, in September 2013, Smith tweeted, "School is the tool to brainwash the youth." He later followed up with, "If everybody in the world dropped out of school, we would have a much more intelligent society." Many accused the actor of setting a bad example for his millions of followers. In August 2023, Smith was scheduled for several events across China. Though there was no actual proof, the events were evidently delayed due to racist comments allegedly made by the rapper. In another example, Smith attended a Halloween party wearing an oxygen mask during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. Many viewed the costume as tone-deaf and even inhumane, given the seriousness of the epidemic, despite clarifying that his costume was a caricature from Tenet. In a deleted Instagram post, Smith still faced pushback for attending the party in the first place. On several occasions, Smith has faced backlash for his experimental fashion choices. In his 2016 Louis Vuitton campaign, he was photographed in a leather blouse top. In the end, over 9,400 comments commending Smith for not conforming to gender norms were left on the post. Through the years, Jaden Smith has been open about experiencing depression and anxiety. His mom, Jada, eventually introduced her son to psychedelic drugs after they had helped her with her own mental health issues. Jaden explained during an episode of Red Table Talk.
For the first time, I had like a ego dissolution where I was like, that was the moment that really changed me.
He went on to explain how people with depression end up being blocked by their own trauma or their own emotions, and that mushrooms helped him push past this invisible barrier.
And then I feel like psychedelics are a way to tear down that wall and see what's beyond it.
In addition to the challenges of fame, Smith has been vocal about his concerns for the state of the world, particularly regarding issues like climate change and social justice. These global concerns have also had an impact on his emotional state. He told Zane Lowe on the Beats One radio show at the height of the pandemic, "I'm just stressed about everything, and it's really crazy. Sometimes it's work-related, and then sometimes you can really see that it's that true, genuine anxiety, where it's just like anything and everything." Jaden Smith has always been in shape, but he did not start to prioritize his health until recently. During a 2019 episode of Red Table Talk, after going vegetarian, Smith appeared drained and depleted. It got so bad that his parents staged an intervention to help their son's eating habits. Jaden admitted,
I was just eating like 2 meals a day.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe one. Maybe just that one big meal, and I'm like, oh, you know, I didn't get around to it. And now I'm like,
after the intervention, Smith revealed on another episode of Red Table Talk in 2021 that he consulted with a doctor and found that the root of his issues were his sugary diet, which led to gut problems and his low appetite. After a few years, he was able to gain weight, making him look and feel a lot healthier. Still, Smith deals with body shaming on the internet. In October 2023, the actor and rapper tweeted a side-by-side of his transformation to call out his haters. He wrote, "Haters will post the one on the left and ignore the one on the right." For many years, Will and Jada Smith have been vocal about the ins and outs of their marriage. In a 2023 interview ahead of the release of Jada's memoir, Worthy, Jada revealed that she and Will have been separated since 2016. Up until this point, their famous children have refrained from speaking publicly about the drama, and it was unclear how they felt about it all. In October 2023, an insider told Entertainment Tonight that Willow and Jaden, quote, "feel bad for their dad with all the recent headlines about their parents and wish some of their family's private matters remained private. Despite the embarrassment, it seems like the Smith kids are ultimately glad the cat's out of the bag," a source told the Daily Mail. Although Jaden and Willow love their mom to no end and take on many of her behaviors and traits, they are very relieved the news is finally out there so everyone can just get on with it. The source continued by emphasizing the weight of keeping such a huge secret, saying, "This made them extremely agitated at times, and they would constantly get in fights with each other and with them." Jaden, in particular, found it hard to cope with the issues surrounding his parents' marriage. The insider confirmed, Jaden has had so many issues with them, and this has always really been hard for him to deal with. Jaden has always been eccentric, but recently his online behavior has grown more and more concerning. In early 2023, the rapper posted an emotional video of himself crying to his Instagram feed. Smith provided no context for why he was upset, but instead captioned the post, "I love my fans, I love our journeys, this family is our fortress. I should write something about emotions and how they're okay or whatever, but honestly, I just found this video in my phone." In another instance, in 2017, Smith went on a bizarre X-rant about pancakes that left everyone confused. Smith, who was vegan at the time, bashed the Four Seasons Hotel for serving him ricotta pancakes, tweeting, "The Four Seasons in Toronto just made me want to throw up on myself." Additionally, Smith caused some drama in 2022 for saying he would rather hang with adults than his fellow Gen Z members. He said during an interview with Big Boy, "I'm just like, dude, Like, oh my god, can we talk about the political and economic state of the world right now? It seems like Smith sometimes actually enjoys the reactions he gets. He told GQ in 2015, "People think you're crazy. I feel like it's an honor, actually, for people to think I'm crazy, because they thought Galileo was crazy too. You know what I'm saying?" Still, he was mocked on X for his Gen Z comments, and living in the spotlight often receives harsh feedback for his choices and actions. If you or someone you know needs help with mental health, please contact the Crisis Text Line by texting HOME to 741-741. Call the National Alliance on Mental Illness Helpline at 1-800-950-NAMI 6264, or visit the National Institute of Mental Health website.